Yeah, guys, and welcome back to another episode on the podcast. Today, a lot of my episodes recently, they've been really mentally and spiritually focused. And maybe it's got something to do with me being alone so much now, being outside of school. But it's caused me to think a lot about my own mindset towards how I approach things in life, and especially the way that I talk to myself. Um, this episode, like a lot of my episodes, they come from literally me watching TikToks and Instagram reels of little clips from podcasts, and they'll be talking about how powerful mental strength and mental clarity and mental control is for anyone's life, like anybody, no matter what they're aiming for to succeed for, their mental, I guess their whole mental strength and ability is just so vital for it. And that's what today, um, I want to talk about how powerful self affirmations are to anyone and their belief in themselves. And I think this is probably the most overlooked parts of people improving their own mental health, their own ability to talk to themselves positively. Like a lot of people, they point mental strength and um mental strength towards people's ability to push through adversity, through physical tasks. A lot of the time it's related to really hard physical events like marathons, Ironmans, uh, even gymming, being able to stick to something for that long. They think, or they believe, that's not the peak, but a vital part of mental strength and mental power. But a lot of the time, real mental strength comes through with entrepreneurs, business owners, workers, mothers, parents in general, people that are going through really bad hardships, such as losing a loved one or being broke or homeless. Those type of mental hardships is when mental strength really becomes a big factor into people's lives. And it's very rare to find someone that could do both of those. Someone that comes to mind is Tony Robbins. Obviously, because he's gone through all the physical, mental um tasks, like running 100 miles, all these races, all these weightlifting competitions, and he's also become a successful entrepreneur. But yeah, for a disclaimer for this video or this episode, these tips and ideas and thoughts, if you put these into practice, they're not going to make you achieve your goals, but they will help you work towards it. It's only the effort that you put in that will help you achieve your goals. But one big thing that I came to realize was how important this is. And a lot of people usually think oh, positive self affirmations, what you're talking to yourself. That's really fucking weird. But I've said this in a lot of episodes recently because it's just it's a big realization that I've had recently. It's you talk to yourself more than you talk to anyone that you ever will in your entire life. And so if you're going to spend most of your time talking shit about the person that you're with the most, it's going to be rough, especially if that person is yourself. So to put it into perspective, your mind controls every single one of your body's actions, every step, every meal you put into your mouth, how hard you choose to exercise. It's all controlled by your mind. And the strength that your mind has over your body is unmeasurable. Most people can't control their mind. For example, the pleasing foods that they eat, the number of times that they, masturbate, the amount of alcohol they drink, the time they spend on their phone, all these really micro pleasuring actions, these dopamine fixes. They let these emotional pleasures control them and their mind. So they let their mind run unconsciously in their head, doing whatever, just to please itself. But when you can control your mind and remove your emotional decisions, it causes you to become a new human. Genuinely, the amount of control that you have over your mind will determine how successful and how strong a human you can become. And so there's impacts, when talking about this, there's impacts of negative and positive self-talk. And like I said before, people will think that the idea of self-talk is really weird and cringe. But when you use negative self-talk, like, oh, why didn't you submit this assignment? Why didn't you eat better today? You shouldn't have drank last night. Why didn't you go and talk to that girl? Mum's just sent me a text saying my mind power isn't that great. I've already broken my fast with the banana bread. Um, uh, back on the topic, but yeah, like, you could have trained harder. All these small little comments, they'll build up just like interest. Like, they'll keep getting bigger and bigger, and they'll eventually just be too much for you to control and too much for you to tolerate, and you'll just break down. Your mind and your body will break down. You'll stop wanting to go to the gym. You won't eat good anymore. You'll stop socializing. You'll shut down as a person in social interactions. It all just eradicates everything in your body. Like, all aspects of your health just diminishes purely from yourself, from your own actions. But when you put these examples into a positive term, it sounds pretty easy. For example, oh, you should submit that assignment. Instead of saying that, you say, oh, well done, you finished your assignment. Or, oh, like, why didn't you talk to that girl? Instead of saying that, you should just say to yourself, like, talk to her. You literally got nothing to lose. Put yourself in the mindset that you've got nothing to lose. And even if you get rejected, it's like, oh, whatever. I haven't lost anything. Or whenever you eat poorly, you say, well, you got to eat what you want today, so now you can do better tomorrow. It's all about reframing the way that you think and the way that you talk into a positive way. It like literally gaslights yourself into being a more happy person in the best way possible. And this way of thinking, it causes you to be way more appreciative of the things that you have in life. Like, even the smallest things, it causes you to be so much more happy about everything that's going on in your life. And so a lot of people may think like, oh, like how the fuck do I do this? Like, yeah, I can talk to myself, but how much impact is that actually going to have? Like, surely there's some other stuff I need to do. And so there's two really big things that changed my way of like thinking mentally. And first one is journaling. And so all you have to do, get yourself a diary that has at least like 365 pages, like at least for a whole year. And you literally, before you go to bed, this is actually great to say as well. Before you go to bed, you open up the diary, you get your pen, and you just write everything that you've been thinking about today. Good, bad, disgusting, literally all of your thoughts that you've had that day, get them all out on the paper, on the piece of paper. This will reduce your stress drastically. It'll take away all the burdens that you've had in your mind or that you've been going through. So, for example, if you've been stressing about a girl not sending you back a text, you write everything down the page, everything you've been thinking, what's going on, and then you're like, oh, I've got nothing else to say. I'm done with that. Or, for example, you've been feeling really lonely and you feel like no one's appreciating like your time and no one's asking you to hang out with you, or someone's cancelled on you. Write down everything on that page. What you've been feeling, why it makes you feel that way, how do you feel that way, what are you going to do instead, what do you think of that person now, what do you think they think of you, everything that could possibly be going through your mind, get it down on that page, and then once you're done, close the book and just let it be. All of these thoughts that you have going through your head, once you get them on that page and you get them out, all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's nothing else for me to talk about, think about in my head. And then as a result of that, your sleep just drastically improves. Like, I literally recorded it on my work. the days I did journal and the days I didn't. I did it for a week where I journaled and a week where I didn't. And my sleep was so much better, like 10 or 15% better sleep score for the days that I did journal compared to when I didn't. It's because you're not having your mind like running around thinking about different things. You've just all got it on the paper and you've already said it. You've already written it out. There's nothing to think about. And then the second really important thing to practice these positive self-affirmations is practicing gratefulness entries. Now, I just do this part of like my journaling just because it's easier to do it all in one go. So I do my gratefulness gratefulness entries, and then I'll do my journaling. So all you literally need to do is to start, write down one thing that you were grateful for on that day. And this can literally be anything. I was grateful to eat today. I was grateful to be able to walk. I was grateful to have a family. I was grateful to have parents. I was grateful to have my brothers around me. I was grateful to have a phone, like the most general base things ever. And then you can narrow it down as you begin to like go through those ideas like every day. You can begin to do more dot points, like I'm doing 4 or 5 a day. So, and then they can be narrowed down like, oh, I'm grateful to be involved in social occasion. I'm grateful to be able to express how I'm feeling to my mates with no worry of judgment. Mum sending me another text. Grateful that your mum purchased a new laptop for you after you spilled water and ruined your last one. That is one of them. But when you're able to have this constant positive way of thinking, it makes it that much harder for you to become like irritated and frustrated from negative situations. Like a mate cancels on your plans, instead of not doing anything at all, you think positively and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the shops anyway. I'm going to Mum, stop texting me. Can't think. But yeah, fuck's sakes. And then the last sort of like mindset shift and practice that I put into my own life for practicing positive self-affirmations is the goldfish memory. And I think a lot of people will probably know this from Ted Lasso, but it's basically goldfish have a 3 or 5 second memory. And so whenever you have something bad happen into your life or some sort of inconvenience, you want to practice having a memory of the goldfish. And so this was really important for me in footy, especially from like year 10 to year 11. I struggled so much with performance anxiety. Like it was like through the roof. And I never really talked to anyone about it because I just wanted to sweep it under the rug and didn't want anyone knowing about it. But after watching Ted Lasso and watching that clip of the goldfish memory quote, it made me want to like put it into practice. So I was always so scared of like making one mistake and thinking, fuck, like I'm done, like I'm gonna get dropped into the twos and whatnot. And in year 12, I kind of had to adopt the idea of like, or the mindset of like, no matter what I do, I'm still gonna be able to have another chance to get this footy like in 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Like if I drop a mark, I literally have less than a second to get the footy again. So why am I getting so shitty about not being able to get the footy right then and there, even though I was able to touch it? And like having this kind of mindset is so fucking important for young footy players, because a lot of boys who they're like, I'm even coaching now, I can tell that they have struggles with this too. Like they struggle with thinking about all the mistakes they made, all the good things that they've done. Like even when I have a game where like the ratio of mistakes to successful things in the game is like 60-40, I still force myself to think about all the good things I did. And doing that, it kind of builds your own confidence, knowing that, fuck, if I did it in that game, why can't I just do it in this one as well? And again, like in the best way possible, you have to gaslight yourself into thinking in that way to build your own confidence. And if you're able to rewire your brain into that way of thinking, not even just for sport, but for all different aspects of life, work, your own hobbies, like it'll completely change your life and the way that you actually think. That brings us to the end of this episode. It is a much shorter one just because I'm trying to catch up on all the episodes I've missed because of my laptop being broken. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.